Under El-Rufai, Kaduna was in toxic atmosphere. Tinubu says that the commissioned specialist hospital CNG buses, it was where he was commissioning this thing. It's like somebody wanted to attack him. Baba faced fear. If Baba shakes, say, what's going on there? Aha. And I say, leave him. So they fear. President Tinubu has taken a swipe at former governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna, saying that the state was in a tense and toxic atmosphere under El-Rufai's leadership. The president said this just as he commissioned a 300-bed specialist hospital initiated by former Vice President Namadi Sambo, 100 compressed natural gas CNG buses, and other projects completed by Governor Obasani of Kaduna State. Tinubu also commissioned the Institute of Vocational Training and Skills Development in Rigachikun, as well as the 25-kilometer Karu-Pambegua Road, the Tundumbiri Road, the Primary Healthcare PAC facilities, and the Skills Acquisition Program in Tundumbiri. Nice. Speaking during the grand reception after the project's commissioning, President Tinubu commended Governor Sani for his people-oriented project. Tinubu asserted that he was impressed with the peaceful atmosphere prevailing in Kaduna State. This is sharply in contrast with the tense and toxic atmosphere when I visited this state in the year 2022. Peace is the hallmark of development, he said. The president also pledged that the federal government's collaboration to actualize the Kaduna Light Rail project. I want to remind all our governors present that the Skills Development Center that we jointly inspected and commissioned today is an example that subnationals should follow. Whatever we need to do together, we will do it. We will soon launch a comprehensive agenda on that, as well as make bold agenda for food security, Tinubu said. In his remarks, Governor Sani, who enumerated his achievements in office in the last years, commended President Tinubu for his massive support to the state. Governor Sani said, let the North be the bedrock of this renewed hope, a strong power pillar for a president who has stood by us in word and in deed. Let us rise and say it boldly. Tinubu deserves our full backing. They must turn everything to campaign. And we will not relent in supporting this great leader who has given so much. He has given so much. Not just to our well-being today, but also to our future. Also. Kazim says, President Tinubu never mentioned El-Rufai as proclaimed in the news headline. Everyone knows how the Kaduna state was in that said year compared with the present state. Even El-Rufai can testify to that, yes, so he only just said that it was, at least there is peace in Kaduna compared to when he came in 2022. There was so much chaos and all of that, but he didn't mention El-Rufai's name outrightly. At Ayalogo Eric says, Tinubu and men should be ashamed of commissioning nonsense. He has special assistants than to be doing all these petty jobs. I don't understand. You people have problems. You people complain about everything. As well as he went to commission the sinner, it's not good. It is very low. Ezebuka says, you went to Kaduna to beg El-Rufai when he was against you just before the 2023 general elections. And he donated 50 million naira. You didn't see him as being toxic then. It is very low. He did mention his name, Sha. Umar Abubakar said, just the same, we want Nigerians to save from this government. Fabian Obasi says, but El-Rufai was supporting you before you became president. You didn't see any wrong doing with him. Now so it dey be. Muchicheke says, Mr. President, you have even made the atmosphere in our country more toxic. Very, very toxic. Muritala Dahiru says, great leader indeed. Both Buhari and Tinubu having leaders. Mr. Governor Obasani. Okay. Ahmed Mohammed says, Obasani is really good in spending his time in Abuja. Even some of the unfinished projects by El-Rufai was simply abandoned by the toxic Obasani. Who can't toxic like this? Is it El-Rufai that is toxic or Obasani that is toxic? We invited you to come and commission the projects of his predecessor. It is well. Abdulrahman says, what an irony of life. Same El-Rufai was the one who suggested that the North should pave way for a Southern to produce president. This life no balance. Now so we see him. You know really balance. Well, it's good for El-Rufai because he thought that his Muslim ticket was going to favor him. He was going to get appointments. He was going to be controlling and all of that. But unfortunately for him, they're chopping eye. They really chopping eye. Ahmed Mohammed says, Mr. President was not in Kaduna when Madam Nasir El-Rufai was the governor of the state, and as such, he has no audacity to make any comments. In fact, El-Rufai was the best performing governor in terms of infrastructural development. Well, he was good with infrastructural development, but he was buying people in southern Kaduna. Why? Why was he doing that? Why wasn't doing that? In the States, even a blind man will testify to that. Moreover, even the hospital he commissioned was not built by Obasani. It was Ahmed Mohammed McAfee that built the hospital. Okay, it is well. Atumbayo Nicholas says, assuming El-Rufai succeeded being a minister under this your miserable administration, will you ever come on air to spit out what you're saying? At times, our politicians really are childish. Abina. Hey, it is well. Hansen says, best Nigerian president. Where is the best? Best where? Best in what? What did you do that he's the best? Julius Azu says, everybody knows what El-Rufai did to worsen security situations, especially in the state here, so. Especially, Adiola says, Kaduna was in toxic atmosphere under El-Rufai then, but unfortunately, Nigeria is now in toxic atmosphere under Tinubu. Yes, so. It is well. Papa says, God bless you, Government Basani. El-Rufai is a devil. Jerry Oganbe says, just as you have made rivers a toxic atmosphere. Ekenem says, so you mean that El-Rufai was as bad as her then? But did you condemn his bad conduct then? Why now? Now you're trying to paint El-Rufai black for your selfish interests, the same as biting the finger that fed you, because to the best of my knowledge, you played a pivotal role for your emergence as the president. And your Millicom stuff, you played even far more than all this doubt you now surround yourself with. Time shall tell. Though El-Rufai is not in any way a saint, he's another devil's incarnate after IBBO. Thank God you put the but there. That you, even though, fine, El-Rufai was part and parcel of making the president, but he's not a good person either. He's not. Adele Augustine says, El-Rufai na bandit. Jobu says, use and dump. This is the characteristics of Tinubu. El-Rufai braced all odds for the sake of Tinubu. What has he got? Kaduna was in a toxic state because APC commissioned him for those dirty jobs. We are reaping from that toxicity now. Not only El-Rufai, you have a whole lot of them to contend with your next election. So, over to you, my listeners. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.